Oh yeah, so this is yours, so I'm going to let you start the thing.
Okay. Perhaps you're wondering. Hello. This is another Con-Con, but we're here to watch a movie.
Oh, yes, movies.
We already watched a movie. We're here to discuss it.
I've seen the movie.
So I wanted to pick Innerspace. We have a small list of things. I picked Innerspace mostly originally because, one, this was a childhood movie. This is a movie that we owned, and I watched a lot.
I was wondering because I was watching the movie and like 30 minutes in, like this does not seem like a movie that you would generally gravitate towards in your adult years. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. We owned it, I watched it a lot, and we had like a little, probably like 5-inch by 5-inch TV in the back of the van. So on road trips, I watched this a lot.
Yeah, we had, before minivans were a thing, we're not even a minute in and I'm already going on a tangent. This is great.
Perfect.
Before minivans were a thing, you could like customize and build your own van. And Granny had a van like that she gave us that they kind of like customized. It was like an Astrovan type thing. I don't think it actually was an Astrovan, but it was like an Astrovan. And there was, like you said, like this 5x5 black and white TV that was hooked up to some sort of antenna that was running along the roof of the vehicle that got zero reception, but you could tell vaguely occasionally. And it was like that, like 5x5 black and white, like turn it on, you'd like twist the volume to turn it on, and it flickered on. Yeah, so I can imagine seeing this on that.
Yeah. So I have a lot of memories of watching it while driving somewhere.
Oh, okay.
And it's a good... I like it. Go.
I have a question. Hence the hand.
Yes, you in the back.
Yeah. How did it was VHS that you like slid in, or how did you get it on that 5x5? Like, what was it?
It was VHS. It had a little built-in VHS player on the bottom of it.
Oh, okay. I think I also had a TV like that as well in my house.
I probably still have it somewhere.
Probably.
I have to look.
But you watched it on like road trips and stuff? Yeah. You watched it on like road trips and stuff? Oh, okay. That's a good way to kill 2 hours.
Yeah. So I probably watched it about 5 or 6 times in my life. This is probably actually 7 times because I rewatched it yesterday for this. And it has a lot of good memories for me because it was funny. And it's entertaining, and it has a lot of... because I was bothering to read... The last time I watched this, like a year ago, I bothered to go, I watched this when I was a kid. Let me actually see who made it and what this was about. And
Steven Spielberg. I was not expecting you to pick a Steven Spielberg movie. I'm like, what?
So
and then all of a sudden,
it's Spielberg. Yeah, it's Amblin, and it's directed by Joe Dante, the guy that did Gremlins.
Oh, that explains some of the casting choices. There's the dad from Gremlins as the taxi driver at the beginning of the movie.
Yep.
I think that's the dad that's the dad, right, from Gremlins?
Yeah, that was the dad from Gremlins. It's the neighbor from Gremlins.
Neighbor, okay, thank you. It's been,
neighbor.
You know, Gremlins, like Lion King, is one of those movies that I've only seen, like, sections of. I've never sat down and watched from start to finish, so... Right. I was like, I know you're from Gremlins, and I know that you were, like, in New York City in the second one, I think, right? And then, like,
he shows up he gets attacked by the bat gremlin on the street. And he goes, not again!
I remember that scene.
But there's a couple people in this, though, because this is the first movie I think I watched with Dennis Quaid. Yeah. This is the first movie I watched with Martin Short.
Really?
Yeah. Strangely enough.
Three Amigos is...
Oh.
Yeah, that was the first one I saw. This is after. Three Amigos is, I think, 81.
Yeah, this was late 80s.
I want to say, this is 87.
Yeah. And the villain, because I rewatched something else recently,
Kevin
McCarthy.
Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff.
The other movie I watched him in recently is he's the broadcast owner in UHF, the evil broadcast guy that's trying to take over
That's
all the
right.
podcast networks.
God, I love that movie. UHF is
And he's
great.
just as good in that.
He's typecast for sure as evil businessman who wears white, or evil businessman who is head of corporation man. But he does a great job. So I mean, it's clearly he well cast. I would say the whole film is pretty well cast.
Yeah, everybody played the roles really well. And it was. Oh, it also has the guy. I don't remember what I saw him in. But the grocery station man, the Safeway manager.
First off, Safeway.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, look at Safeway. But so I know him as a judge off of Boston Legal that everyone hates. So I was like, hey, he's the guy from Boston Legal, and I know I've seen him in this movie is full of I know him. I don't can't remember where he's from. I know him. This movie's full of them. Like freaking. Hang on. To consult my notes. What is his name? So Henry Gibson is who you're talking about from Boston Legal. I have Safeway with an exclamation point in my. Where the heck is it? It's the cowboy. The freaking cowboy character is Robert Picardo. Robert Picardo. AKA the Doctor from Deep Space Nine.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's in a.
I
didn't know that
when I was young, and then rewatching this last year, and I was like, "Oh yeah, the Star Trek Doctors."
Yeah, the hologram Star Trek Doctor. He did. I like Robert Picardo. There's a couple. He did a. Was it him that made the documentary about Galaxy Quest? No, he did still he's done a bunch of cool stuff. I like him as a person. He seems to make a lot of cool stuff. So it was cool to see him. I was like, yes, you and your curly hair.
Very curly hair. It was that a lot of the things that I like about this. One, there's a lot of physical props. They built a lot of sets for things.
That's I think the highlight of the movie is all the props and sets they built for size and scaling and all that. So yeah, big time.
And I also like the incredibly bizarre, almost cartoonish characters that don't get any explanation.
No.
They're just there.
The guy, the biggest one probably being the guy with the robot hand. Zero explanation as to who he is, where he comes from, how he lost his hand, who provided his hand. I think it's kind of implied it's the guys he's working for. I think there's a line in there they say robotics have come a long way, and I'm assuming that's a reference to I think the lady with the big hair, the evil lady, Margaret I think says it or something like that when they're talking. Yeah, so I think it's implied that what's his face, the white suit man, what's his name?
I just remember Scrimshaw.
Scrimshaw, thank you, is maybe the guy that gave him the hand, but I don't know. Yeah, so no idea who he is, no idea who the cowboy is, except for he does what he does.
He dresses like a cowboy, and he's from somewhere with an accent.
Somewhere, yes. I could not peg it. I was like, he's from somewhere. First off, Steven Spielberg. So it felt Spielbergian.
Yes.
And it's got the same kind of comedy as Poltergeist. You can you can feel it. I know it's not him directing it, but you can feel Spielberg in the movie, especially
he was an executive producer, so he got a lot of push.
So is Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy was I was like, oh, it's Kathleen Kennedy. So first off, I was like, okay, first off, Spielberg, surprising. I did not expect that. The intro, I gotta say, it was cool. The whole ice thing where they're zooming across. This is gorgeous. What is it? I knew it was gonna be one of those this looks cool in Alien. It's gonna zoom out. It's gonna be something benign or just regular, benign. Benign. Like a tumor. No, it's just something something regular, like something banal. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Banal would be.
Banal. Thank you. Something just regular, whatever's glass or ice and glass. That was cool. I don't think I've seen a movie with Dennis Quaid in it until today. I don't think I've ever
Really?
seen anything. Him and Meg Ryan. Well, no, Meg Ryan. I technically saw Sleepless in Seattle when I was a kid.
Okay.
But no, I don't think I've ever seen these two in a film. But I've seen their offspring, Jack Quaid. These
I've
two
seen Jack Quaid
married
quite a
from
few
'91 to 2001, and they created a Jack Quaid.
I've actually seen Jack Quaid a lot in the past year. He's been all
Yes.
over the place.
He's the voice of Superman in the animated Superman show that's currently running, which I hear is quite good.
He was in Companion, which was pretty good.
He's in The
Was
Boys.
In a movie. He's in The Boys. He was in a movie also called. I think it's called Neighborhood Watch.
Oh, yeah. That rings a bell. I like him more as I see him more, and especially him behind the scenes. He seems like a stand-up guy. So, I don't know. I like Jack Quaid.
Because I've never seen. I don't think I've ever seen a Dennis Quaid movie.
I mean, I've never seen a Dennis Quaid movie.
I've never gone out of my way to. I think I saw this.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen he was the dad in the Parent Trap remake with Lindsay Lohan, and he and he was the main character dad in Day After Tomorrow. I think those are the three.
That's okay. Yeah, no, I was looking at his filmography, and I know. Okay, Day After Tomorrow, but it's been since I've seen Day After Tomorrow, and it's not one that I'm like rushing to go watch again.
You don't want to rush back to watch a Day After Tomorrow?
No, I don't. I remember even as a kid, I'm like, this movie sucks. Wendy, the gal from Safeway, she is the mom from Small Soldiers.
Oh, she is.
She is. Because it's fun to go to all these movies.
It's been a while since I watched them.
You have to be crazy not to be scared. I love that movie. That's a movie we should probably put on the list.
Yes.
I love Small Soldiers. It is such a stupid. You put munitions, chips, and toys. I love that movie.
It's a perfect stupid. Yeah.
It's so good. It's like the perfect stupid mid 2000s kid movie, with CGI. So Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan, pretty good chemistry. I gotta say that they did a good job. I feel like they had some chemistry.
There's a reason for that.
It's because they got married later.
They got married directly. They apparently met each other on this movie and then started dating after this movie.
So that chemistry was
looking
real.
up some of the factoids, yeah.
I looked up nothing other than who was in what. So you're gonna have all the because I kind of wanted to come with this fresh and just off the cusp, just like, hey, this is what I think, which is a drastically different from the last one because Buckaroo Banzai I've seen God knows how many times. So this is a fun reversal where you get to talk about your childhood movie.
That's part of the reasons I wanted to pick it.
It was a good pick. I enjoyed it. So 81, Raiders of the Lost Ark comes out. So this is 6 years later. Right. Dennis Quaid feels a lot like Harrison Ford. I haven't seen any other movies recently enough to know if that's just his acting style, but like some of the way he smiles in his eyes with that big kind of smile, there's a lot of things that feel very Harrison Ford-y about him. I was like, man, this guy really feels like Ford.
And this is very early in his career to a degree because everything else I'd seen him in, he plays a dad. Mm-hmm. He's playing an older guy.
And so he plays a scruffy nerf herder in this movie, more or less.
He does indeed.
And
he's starting out in the film, pulling out of the ice, the nice ice shot. He's getting a full tumbler of whiskey, just a huge amount of whiskey.
I noticed this is like all of his glasses are like filled to the brim. Like he is not playing around. Yeah, he is an alcoholic. They never really address whether or not he ever ends up not being an alcoholic. I hope for their relationship's sake that he ends up fixing that or addressing that because, he was an alcoholic. The movie starts off with him being super drunk. I guess it's some like awards ceremony or something.
It's some awards ceremony for like assumedly like high atmosphere pilots or astronauts in some capacity.
They have like black birds in the background.
Yeah, and he was a pilot, or still is a pilot, but he's not liked.
No, he's like he's very good, but he's not very well liked because he's a bit of an asshole. At least that's what we kind of seen. Yeah. And we don't know that gosh, I can't believe I've forgotten her name. Meg Ryan's
first
character
name is Lydia, I think.
Lydia. If we get this wrong, we'll just call her Lydia the whole time. It'll be wrong the entire video.
I can go look. Yes, it's Lydia.
Lydia, oh, have you met Lydia?
Lydia,
the
shut up and
tattoo
listen.
lady. That's right. Lydia, shut up and listen.
Why are you wearing
Lydia, shut up and listen.
You are
Lydia,
wearing
shut up and listen. Boy, you said it good.
Good old late 80s misogyny. But, so Meg Ryan is Lydia. We don't know that she's anything related, with him. And then turns out, no, they're not dating, but they're like on again, off again,
On again, off again. They know she knows where he lives.
It cracks me up because a big thing in like this era of movies, is like lights strung up in the house. And I don't have a great example. Yeah, like the set design, they just love like stringing lights everywhere. I'm like,
because his bungalow, because it's not an apartment, his bungalow is very Ernest Goes to Jail.
Yes.
It very much reminds me of Ernest's house from Ernest Goes to Jail.
Yes, with the robots and it, like everything. Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah.
It falls into a lot of. I don't mean this as a criticism, but this movie is one of the movies that creates a kind of trope with late 80s, early 90s set design, just story beats. Like this is one of those movies that creates the stereotype of the late 80s movies in my mind. Not a criticism. It's just like one of the it perpetuates that because it's just of the time. And those stringy lights is one of those things. They're like stringy lights and like robots and like just stuff everywhere. There's a bottle in an engine.
Yeah.
In a cylinder.
You get some parts of his character from that, but it's also like it's a hodgepodge. He's like he has an engine cylinder. He has a nice car, so he likes a car maybe, but he also has like 3 pianos stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, so okay, that's a good point. I can't tell what kind of he's clearly smart, right? Like we know he's clearly smart. And I think that's what it's trying to say. I think the movie is trying to establish that he is smart, that he's technical, but I don't know if that goes anywhere. Like it might be because that's why so I may have not seen this, but I'm guessing that he's like a part of this program that's first off the freaking rabbit thing confused me. Like why is there a rabbit everywhere? Like what's with all these rabbits? And I guess it's just laying the groundwork to say that hey, he's a smart guy and he can be involved in this project that involves understanding mechanics, robotics, biology. I guess that's what it's trying. Like that's what the set design's trying to say, because if you're going into a rabbit, you have to know like the biology of rabbits. You have to know the biology of organisms, but you also have to be smart enough to understand like the mechanics of your pod and stuff like that. I'm guessing is what they're trying to.
Because you're the single pilot in a miniature submarine, so you got to understand how the pod works. You got to understand what you're. Also, as a small side tangent that's always been interesting to me, the entire thing, at least for 2 months or more, because he had all the rabbit stuff before Lydia leaves him.
Yeah.
All set up to be, we're going in a rabbit. We're going in a rabbit. We're going in a rabbit. The submarine automatically adapted to being inside of Jack.
They even have a line about that. It's like, it doesn't matter. The submarine adapted. Like, that's a smart submarine.
He's patched in the optic nerve and the eardrum. That was part of the experiment. To see if a miniaturized human could make audio and visual contact with its host organism.
Oh, come on, Doc. This is a guy, not a bunny.
Yes, but the computer doesn't know that. It simply reads the environment and makes the proper adjustments.
It's like, why did you do that? Why did you put that system in?
I just got it. There's a line near at the end, and I don't really understand. I must have missed it. they have to like eat me or drink me or something like that, like to go up. It's an Alice in Wonderland reference.
What is this? Eat me? Drink me? What?
It's from The Exorcist, I think.
What?
No, Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland, yes, because she drank something up big and then she ate something up small.
Rabbit, I'm assuming, is the key, the theme there, and the.
I'm
right?
assuming that's part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's so much that I feel like was cut or they didn't care about adding. Because I'm sure that was like the scientist that gets shot, Ozzy. That was probably like a haha funny because we're doing a rabbit and it's also shrinking and growing. So I'll do this as a.
Right, because Alice does to go into right. Doesn't she shrink into the tree? Right, that's how that works.
Yeah,
or something like that.
She shrinks down. She eats a thing to shrink.
Mm-hmm. And then, yes, I think you're right. I think this movie feels like everything was thought about. Like everything has been thought through, but everything that was thought through may not have ended in the final cut. You know, like. Everything has a reason, but if there was any kind of scene establishing those reasons or lines of dialogue, they may have gotten cut, but it still feels like they had thought about it.
But they still
that's what
had
this movie.
them.
Yeah, that's what this movie felt like. If everything felt like it was actually thought through, whether or not we as the audience got to understand that thought process or that reasoning, but it felt like everything had a reason.
Because there was a scene during this watching, I remember when they're in Jack's apartment and Tuck. So I not even established names. So Dennis
Tuck
Quaid
Pendleton is such a crazy name. Tuck Pendleton running at 100%. What does he say? Tuck Pendleton running at full capacity or something like that. He's like slapping himself.
Zero defects.
Zero. Tuck Pendleton running at 0 defects.
Feels good. Then do it again. The Tuck Pendleton machine. 0 defects.
You slap yourself.
So he's our main character, Dennis Quaid, as Tuck Pendleton.
And he is inside the body of Jack Putter. We need to actually get there at some point. We need to go through this a little. But there's this when they're talking to each other properly in Jack's apartment. And he describes it's like I was in a syringe and now I'm in you. In other movies, there would be a proclivity to show a flashback to him getting injected. Yes. And they decided to not do that. They respected you to remember that happened.
Yeah. No, this movie, that's a good point. This movie doesn't like spoon feed you, which is nice. It just says, hey, if you pay attention, because it's not like there's going to be a crazy roller coaster of a plot, but like just pay attention. No. That's all we ask. And
it's going to go through, and you just need to be paying attention, and that's about it.
That's it. I feel like this movie, I don't know if it was geared towards kids or not. It feels very family-friendly. So it's nice not to have a family-friendly movie that's pandering.
Yeah. Because I watched it as a kid. It has a light amount of swearing. It has a couple light adult jokes in it. But it's no more, no less than any other 80s movie at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't even think of the. Oh yeah, there's a few. Yeah, there's a few like adult references in there, but like barely.
There's a scene when the doctor is hanging out with the what's his name? Igo. She's on the phone. The shot when Scrimshaw is in a white room with a pink light that's in the corner of a warehouse for no reason.
I have that written down. Small office question mark.
I love that shot so much because it's such a beautiful world building shot that has no reason. That is just there.
Yeah, the villain is just sitting there in the middle of an abandoned like building in the corner of this big empty floor. He wears all white, his dog is all white, everything around him's all white, and he's bathed in this pink light shining down on him. And then we see him on the phone, the conversation on the phone, and then we just cut to a shot farther out, and he's just in nothing. He's just like in this empty room.
Margaret, the cowboy is in town, and we still don't have that other chip.
I'm really awfully busy right now, Victor. I'll have to call you back.
Just get me that chip.
Why?
It's just
We don't
the
know.
corner. It's so good.
He's like sandwiched in the corner.
But there's during that scene when he's calling the doctor, and Igo, the man with the missing hand, is there. They're drinking and they're doing a thing, and he puts an attachment on that vibrates. And as a kid, I went, oh. As a child, I went, oh, it's like a thing that's like mixing the drink.
Nope. That's not mixing drinks. That's mixing something, but that's not mixing drinks.
So there's little things like that. They're never too direct about any of them, but they're there.
So Margot, okay. How we want to do this? Because let's start from the beginning.
Okay, we'll start from
Dennis Quaid, aka Tuck Pendleton, is hot shot, super pilot, is great at flying, but a drunk and embarrassment. Meg Ryan
gets kicked out of a party.
Lydia, played by Meg Ryan, takes him home. We learn that, and then the next morning they break up. We learn that they have an on-again, off-again relationship. 2 months later, we find that Tuck Pendleton is in a program that is hinted in the previous scenes about shrinking down and entering a rabbit, which we don't know. Like, they keep that hidden, that fact that what he's doing, they keep that hidden for like a good 30 minutes. I'm like, what the hell is with a rabbit? Tell me already.
They hide that entirely up to the moment they shrink him.
Yes, yes, you're right. All this build-up, all these sets, all this stuff, like, oh, what are they doing? And then finally they're like, okay, we're going to inject this into the rabbit. Like, okay, but by then the antagonists, the bad guys, shows up, and they gas everybody, and they try to steal the syringe that has our shrunken Dennis Quaid in it.
Yeah, because the shrinking only works. They have 2 little microchips that are about the size of a widget, and you need one to shrink and one to grow, and one is in the sub.
Yeah, one to shrink,
you need
2
both
to grow.
to grow. Yeah. So you need the sub and the other one. And one is in the sub because it's needed for the shrinking. Yep. So then they break in, Ozzy goes and then takes the syringe and is hiding.
Doesn't he have like a line where the lady Margot. Yeah, Margaret. She knows him, right? Ozzy. They have a history. She has a great reveal because she's wearing like a helmet and a face mask. And she has a great reveal where she goes down, and then when she takes off her just like fluffy hair just pops out, and she's like, ah.
Look at this thing.
Yeah. And apparently she just sleeps with everybody.
That seems to be her character. As a kid, I didn't get that, but as an adult, yes, she just seems to sleep with anybody.
And so she has a history with Ozzy, and then he runs off, and then enter, what did you call him? Igo, who is a man that has, we don't know this at this point, but he has a mechanical hand that has several attachments, and he's chasing him with his gun attachment.
Yes, his little pointer finger, like this.
And there's this big car chase, and they end up in a mall, and they bump into Martin Short, excuse me.
We had a pre-set-up scene where Martin Short is in a doctor's office, and he has he's a hypochondriac. He's got every imaginable worry. He's allergic to hairspray. He has a nightmare about a lady buying products and all of the prices. Orange hair. She has orange hair. And she's buying products and all the prices are wrong, and she pulls out a little silver pistol. And so he's just free. He's just a hypochondriac, and he's been told by his doctor to go on a vacation. Go somewhere and relax, because you need to relax. This isn't good for you. He's in the mall to buy a travel package on a cruise. He's going to go to Cancun or somewhere.
Some big island.
Some island somewhere. And then they're running through the mall. There's about 6 or 7 random costumed characters just walking around the mall.
Yeah,
that always confused me.
Yeah, like there's clowns, there's mascots, there's penguins. Like, what is... You know me, I love to go to my local mall and hang out with the people in like falling apart mascot costumes. That was weird. Again, another scene where I feel like this movie, there was like more to it and they just cut it out. And so these are the remnants of that scene that explained where those guys come from. I feel like that is definitely a thing.
It has to be something because it's so specific. And it's also...
Yeah, like you don't just like make those choices without... Like you have to go find those costumes, you have to find the actors to be in the costumes, you have to block the scene. There's a reason they're there, and I feel like we didn't get to see why.
Because they also do So, Ozzy's running away. Also, this movie is why I like BMWs, because I like Igo's car.
There's also a Volvo in it, too.
There is also a Volvo in it. But Ozzy's running away. Igo does his finger point, and then it shoots him, and he blows the finger off. The little kid goes. And he gets shot and he's bleeding. You can actually you can see the blood streak in the when he's going up the elevator, because when he turns around there is like a little spout of blood, which is nice. And so he's dying, and he opens the door, and Martin Short happens to be there, and he's like, so he just stabs him with the needle.
It has Dennis Quaid in it. He squeezes it into his butt.
Yep. And then he falls over. And then another choice that was incredibly odd for no reason, they do a first-person shot from Ozzy's perspective of all of the mascots leaning over him as he dies.
Yeah, that's exactly. Like, you don't make those choices without, like, there being something we're missing.
Don't move it.
I feel like
it's such a weird shot.
It's such a weird, and it's so focused on the fact that there's 6 animals over him. I swear there's got to be some reason, because that shot feels like a specifically done shot to kind of bookend some. Maybe it's something to do with Alice in Wonderland or something. I don't know. Like there's clearly something there that we don't see, because you're right. Like this, he's looking up. I was waiting for like some kind of reference to like, am I in heaven? Because all these something like comment as to why it's there's a reason.
It's just
don't know
like
what it is.
It's like a 30-second shot.
Yeah,
first
like
person.
it's there. It's a clear chosen shot.
Yeah, that's something that I always thought about when I was younger, because it was a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
So then he leaves. Igo leaves because he doesn't know where he finds the syringe and it's broken, so he just leaves.
He's like, I don't know where it is.
He doesn't talk. He doesn't do anything. He's very robotic.
He is. He really. Yeah. It feels like there's more than just his hand that's a robot, but as far as we know, it's just a hand. I think then we have like a night, just a while with Martin Short, right, where he's. Yeah, it's Martin Short. Like he goes to the Safeway and they call him crazy and all that. Oh no, he goes back to work. That's right. And he has that recreation as Dennis Quaid is like attaching to his neural synapses and all that stuff, trying to get in contact. He's figuring out like, oh my God, I'm not in a rabbit. This is not the lab. I'm in this random Safeway employee. And what does he say? He says, I'm in a strange man in a strange room surrounded by strangers. And
I like that line.
Yeah, it's a great line.
I'm in a man. I'm in a strange man. I'll be a son of a bitch. I'm in a strange man surrounded by strangers in a strange room.
And like it's the guy, it's friggin' Henry Gibson. There we go. It's Henry Gibson and Wendy, the actress. His name is actually it's like Wendy Shaw, the actress, and the character both are named Wendy. Who we find out that Martin's trying to like, or his character Jack is trying to go on a date with, but she's like, I'm just so busy. I don't understand. Like, if you want to live my life, you can't control me. Yeah. And then
I'm not a part of your life, Wendy. That's the problem.
That's the problem.
Jack, look, I've already told you. If you want to be a part of my life, you can't be hassling me about stuff.
Wendy, I'm not a part of your life.
And so they're calling him crazy behind his back as he's having a clear medical condition, a medical issue going on. Like he's screaming in pain as he's holding his eye, and they're like, he's crazy. No, he's having some type of aneurysm. I don't know. Maybe call 911. But so like they're like trying to figure out what's going wrong with him. As Dennis Quaid's like, oh my God, I'm in a human body, not a rabbit. And so that goes on for like 20 minutes, maybe not 20 minutes, but like 15 minutes or whatever. Them just figuring it out, and then. It's just like oh my gosh, I'm talking to you in your ear, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I do want to mention
they have that. No, you go.
No, go ahead.
It might be the same scene.
Go ahead.
It's the scene in the waiting room where Dennis Quaid's starting to talk to him.
Yeah, the lady in red. I don't know who she is, but she was so adorable because like he's like, are you talking to me? And he goes over to the guy, and the guy's like, no, I'm not talking to you. And then Dennis Quaid keeps talking because he's connected to his ear in some way, shape, or form, and he's talking to him. And he looks over to the lady. Are you talking to me? And she goes, no, unless you want to. And it's like, you're precious. You are precious.
So adorable.
Look, pal, we have to talk. No, we don't.
Don't what?
Don't have to talk.
Yes, we do.
We do?
Do what?
Have to talk.
Not unless you want to.
I loved her. She was great. Just like one line, like you're adorable. But yeah, so he like freaks out. Finally, he's convinced through a really weird thing where like Dennis Quaid has this ability to like blow up electronics nearby. He surges
he has like a weird little EMP thing for some reason.
And that's what like causes the panic attack in Martin Short to begin with, because the dream that he's describing to the doctor in a previous scene where there's a lady with orange hair that he like in the dream he's ringing up these prices and like the prices are out of whack. In the end, she owes like $123,000, and then she's like, I don't carry that kind of cash, but I do carry this, and she shoots him with a little handgun.
Yeah.
And later, somehow, there's the literal lady that he's afraid of in real life, and he's ringing up the items, but because like Dennis Quaid's trying to like connect to him, he's like setting off all these EMPs, so it's ringing up to be the exact number. So he's like freaking premonition because and for some reason they're blaming him. They're like, Jack, what are you doing? And like, it's the computer.
Hey, that's kind of pricey for shampoo, ain't it?
Ozzy!
Oh, no.
$128,000?
Is that with or without the coupons?
What have you done, Jack? What have you done?
It's a dream.
What?
It's a dream.
I don't know why they immediately blame him. Wow, you really screwed up. It's like he didn't do anything.
He didn't do anything. You really screwed this up. You're like, how? It's poor guy. Poor Martin Short. Excellent casting on him. I think his character is not necessarily excessively physical, but I think Martin Short brings a great physicality to the character that if in other actors' hands that didn't have that physicality, it wouldn't have made him as good. Like, he didn't need to have the physicality, but because he brought it, the little bit that he did have.
Off of it.
Yeah, it really does, and I think he does a good job with that nervous character.
And
he's got a lot
it's
of
little things too, because even when he ran into Safeway, before that, him almost running into the cart and just going around it really physically.
Yeah, it's a lot of little character moments that I think that Martin Short, as a physical comedian, understands and adds to the character. So I think that Martin was a very good casting choice.
Yeah.
And so they recreate basically the dream. He panics, he freaks out, he goes to the office. That's when Dennis Quaid's like, oh my God, I'm in a human, not a rabbit. And they start figuring it out. And then he has to escape. No, what happens after that? He has to go home, right?
He goes home. He starts watching a game
TV
show.
program.
Dennis Quaid blows up his TV.
Yeah, that's right.
And then some guy shows up and is like, "Here's your travel tickets," and he happens to be working for the evil company,
right?
For some reason, because they took pictures of him when he got injected, so they know who he is.
Thank you. Yes, yeah. There's a guy that happens to be taking pictures in the mall because he's like testing out a camera, and the you just said his name. Igo.
It's Igor, but with an E at the end, so it's Igo.
So Igo takes the camera, and they find out who Martin Short's character is, Jack, and so that they lead him to that. You're right. That's how they find him.
Yeah. So he has to run away, and a lot of the way the original scriptwriter described it is it's just like it's a flat. He described it as just stealing the plot of Incredible Journey, or the movie about going into a body. I don't remember what it was called. Fantastic Voyage. Yeah. Chip Prozier, the original script director, just said it's basically just a ripoff where the main character is running around rather than unconscious. And so a lot of the internal interaction between the characters is Jack is a weak-willed, kind of nervous hypochondriac, and Dennis Quaid is loud and brash.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it is him just telling him to do things, and then he has to do them.
Yes. And I will mention, I will say that I liked their dynamic a lot. I'm not sure if this is something that was more script based or actor based or both, chemistry, director. I'm not sure what it is, but Short and Quaid had very good chemistry. I feel like, and what I liked about Tuck Pendleton, his character is brash, but he's not mean. He seems to be a very kind-hearted man who's just impulsive and drinks too much. And you got to see that because here he is, hotshot, former military, probably played sports in high school, athletic guy, charismatic, and he meets this guy who's, as you said, a nervous wreck, hypochondriac, has all these anxiety issues before anxiety disorders were really, understood and all that. Yeah. But he never degrades Jack for being nervous. He pushes his buttons and says, "Hey, you need to make this decision," but it's only because there's life and death situations at hand.
Yeah.
But he never.
You will die, but you need to.
This. But he never thinks less of him. And I think that shows that Tuck is a good guy. Like, in the end, Tuck is a solid guy. He has a kind heart. He's compassionate. He's impulsive, but he's a good guy because here he finds his polar opposite. And he could easily say, you're a weakling, you're a loser. And they could have had that moment that you see in movies where, like, you're just a loser, and then they get each other's feelings hurt and they have to make up later. They don't do that because Jack does. No. And Jack is supportive of, Tuck is supportive of Jack the entire time. He's like, yeah, Jack, you're doing, 0% defects or whatever, 0 defects. Yeah. And I really liked that. I think that shows I think that's a good character decision for Tuck Pendleton. It kind of endears us to him because he could have easily just been super mean about it. Yes. In that typical, make fun of the nerd kind of way. They also could have made Jack way more nerd-y in that regard. They didn't. I think they handled that balance of not falling into stereotypes pretty well.
Yeah, they handled it. Yeah, because Jack could have been way more of a geek at this point in the late 80s. He's just... he's the kind of person that you would meet at a supermarket. He's just kind of a nervous guy that works at a supermarket. You probably met someone like that at some point. And it's like he's no action hero, but he has to go through with this. And
but he never ends up being the butt of the joke because there's been movies, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know that if I thought long enough I could find them, where like the non-typical action hero has to be an action hero and he's kind of the butt of the joke. But they don't really do that. The movie acknowledges that he's not an action hero, but they don't like make fun of him for it. It's like, yeah, this is just a dude. Like,
and they even give him a little bit of a character arc when he starts doing things on his own and starts actually being more assertive.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I think they handled that really, especially considering the time that they made it. Like, I'm thinking like Porky's, right? Like, or Revenge of the Nerds. Like, this is not a time where people are very sensitive and like understanding of these type of people. So I thought that being a movie from '87, they did a very good job, not belittling, not turning him into a caricature. Like, I thought that the characters were actually well established. I'm not saying they're like Shakespearean levels of depth, but they don't have to be. But they are very. They did a good job not making them just caricatures, which they could have easily done.
Yeah. This was apparently this was originally going to be more serious, and then they decided to rewrite it into a comedy.
Yeah, it's written as classified as an action comedy. I almost don't even think it's that much of a comedy. Like,
it doesn't have a lot of jokes.
No, like there's some, and you can. Who I don't have my phone on me. Who wrote it? Do you know who wrote it? Does Spielberg have anything to do with the writing, or is he just the executive producer? Because some of the jokes felt very poltergeisty. Where I will reveal, I'm not a huge fan of Steven Spielberg's humor. It kind of misses the mark for me a little bit, because Poltergeist was, when I watched it for the first time, I'm like, it's fine. I know, not very popular opinion, but I'm like, it didn't quite work. And there was a few jokes in here, I'm like, this feels kind of like a Spielberg humor. But I think it was, I liked it better than Poltergeist, that's for dang sure.
Right. The original writer was Chip Prosner, who doesn't exist in any way, shape, or form.
the figment that is Chip Prosner.
But the guy that rewrote it was named Jeffrey Boehm, who's only done writing, and he wrote Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Lethal Weapon 2, Lost Boys. Lost Boys was the vampire.
Yeah. I remember watching that in high school, and I actually enjoyed it. I should give that another watch.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I remember it being pretty good.
He wrote Lethal Weapon 2 and 3.
Okay.
Tales from the Crypt. Just kind of some random stuff. This was one of his earlier movies that he wrote.
Okay. So by this point, we have. Oh, you know what we should talk about? So by this point in the movie, we have a good understanding of the set design and production level of this film, because there's been enough in it that has demonstrated that whoever is doing the set design is doing a very good job.
By this point in the film, they have full shots of like internals. They have like, I remember something that impressed me when I was younger was him going from the fat cells into the vein. And you watch all the red blood
Internet
cells
connectivity
rushing
issues.
past and like falling out of you. Stop moving.
What were we talking about?
We're talking about the physical set.
Ah, yes. So you said by this point in the film, we had, is what I think is where you left off.
Oh yeah, because we had the thing that impressed me, even pre-watching it yesterday, was the shot where Tuck is going from the butt into the butt, going into the vein. They have that internal shot. Where it's open on the side, and you watch all these big physical red blood cells rushing past the camera.
that was the first one. I'm like, okay, we're getting into it. Like, this sets the stage of what kind of movie it's gonna be.
Yeah, because I don't know how big the sub actually was, but they have a bunch of vein shots. They have a slightly CGI shot of him almost going into a heart by this point.
Mm-hmm.
They have him going into the inner ear, and it has all these like really nicely detailed cavernous areas.
Yeah, the interior of Jack is done really well. Like everything feels fleshy, everything feels like valves, and like the red blood cells were just really well done. all the physical sets were really well done. Even the set of the lab itself, and it shows great contrast between the. It feels like the organization that's creating the technology that Tuck is using, right? The labs that Ozzy's a part of, is very lo-fi, very low tech in comparison to the labs that you see later with what's his face, the man in white. And just that bit of visual storytelling is very well done, because you see like they're in this kind of cramped room. There's like wires everywhere. There's computers everywhere. Everyone's got papers and all this stuff. And then later in the movie, when you see the what's his freaking name? I can't. Scrimshaw. Thank you. Scrimshaw. It's like rickshaw, but Scrimshaw.
Yeah.
You see his lab that has a shrink ray in it, and it's like clean, it's white, it's pristine, it's like really, really high end, and it does a
nice rolling door.
Yeah, and it does a good job. These guys don't have a ton of money, and they are clearly in it for, like, I don't want to say the love of the science, but probably it gives that like homegrown feeling that they're a bunch of scientists that are just like finding any way to make this happen, versus like the big corporation version of it. So even just that in the set design, like whoever the set designer is did an excellent job.
Yeah, it was a very well made, because there's so many little things in their lab that's just like paper strewn about, random bits of tech. The fact that I don't even. You're probably not supposed to see it originally, but they have a sequence to open the thing shielding the pod, and you can very clearly see them pushing it. You weren't supposed to see a lot of these things. You can also very clearly see Igo, the man with the one arm missing. You can very clearly see his fingers move occasionally in certain shots if you're just looking.
So, yeah, the set design was clearly done with a lot of care. You could tell that this did not feel like a movie that people made in a quick hurry. I don't know how much money was put in, as like I'm not sure if the executive producers or the suits that were making the movie really cared about how authentic they wanted this movie, but you could tell that the people working for this movie, they probably knew they were working for Spielberg, and were like, oh man, we want to do our best, because this is post Indiana Jones Spielberg. When did freaking E.T. come out? E.T. was 80. Like, I think
earlier
this is post.
Than this.
Yeah, this is post E.T. So yeah, 82. So like they clearly were like, oh hey, this is our chance to make a movie with Spielberg, even though he's just an EP on it. This is still a Spielberg movie, so we want to do our best, and I think it shows in like the set design and all that. I think the production design, I think they all cared. It just did not feel like a cash-in family movie.
One was also, there was a light bit I was reading that said, I think it was Joe Dante said something like Spielberg would sometimes just protect them from like other producers and the studio itself. He'd just be like, yeah, no, they're making this and they get to do this decision.
That's cool. Yeah. That seems like something he might do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that actually brings up something that I was curious about, because Indiana Jones is Jewish revenge porn. It is. Like, it's a dude punching Nazis. Like, it was just, it's great. E.T., extraterrestrial, Spielberg loves aliens.
Yes.
Indiana Jones 4 and the Crystal Skull. He's like, they're not aliens, they're extra-dimensional beings. Steven, they're aliens. Just own the fact that you love making movies about aliens. Super 8.
No, I don't. No.
And even Poltergeist, there's a lot of fantastical elements to it. So it made me wonder, what was it about Innerspace that he liked, other than the fact that space was in the name? Because it didn't, I'll be honest, it didn't feel like a movie that Spielberg would want to make. The subject matter didn't really feel like him. So either was he experimenting, or was he just putting his name on it and then like produce? Like, what was it? I wonder, and I'm not expecting any kind of answer. I'm just positing the question: what was it about the script of Innerspace that came across Spielberg's desk and he said yes? I don't know.
Because it's an interesting one because it's very different from other movies that he threw money at the time.
Yeah.
And it's not like the Joe Dante. It's not the smartest movie, but it has a lot of interesting ideas. It has a lot of care put behind it. It has a lot of. They got licensed music for 3 sections of it. They got 2 songs that they really liked and they wanted to use a lot.
Oh yeah, it's playing her song.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. It's that and the credit song. Those are the 2 major licensed songs that they could get their hands on.
I watched it on Prime, so it just cut out immediately as soon as the credits rolled. So I don't know what's yeah.
That's fair. They're both songs. I actually ran into. It's "Twisting the Night Away" is the credits song, the song that he listened to when he was drinking in Tuck's bungalow when he's dancing with the robot.
Oh, okay. Isn't
That's
that
the credits song.
their song?
No, their song is. I don't remember the name of it. It's a different song. I have to look it up. I don't care enough to look it up right now. I do. I can just edit this out. Ha ha ha.
It's okay. I'm looking at IMDb. Joe Dante made Small Soldiers.
That's why it's so good.
Yes. He also made Looney Tunes Back in Action.
That's probably why I love Looney Tunes Back in Action.
He did some CSI New York. He did some MacGyver. He did some Hawaiian 5-0. He did some of DC Legends of Tomorrow episodes. Gremlins. Did Gremlins. He did he did some episodes on Police Squad.
Oh.
The Howling. He did The Howling.
Which The Howling?
The first one.
Oh.
Yeah, no, the good one.
Not Action Cut, because that was 3.
Action Cut.
That was from 3, I believe.
Yeah, no, not Action.
Cut. Action.
Boy.
It might be Cupid. Hang on. It is. The song is called Cupid by Sam Cooke. That's their song. Because I ran into that. I watched a different movie that had that song in it at one point. I was like, it's the song from Innerspace.
So shenanigans takes place. We now have Dennis Quaid, Tuck Pendleton, inside of Martin Short, Jack
Putter.
Putter.
Mr. Putter.
Mr. Putter. And basically the rest of the movie is them meeting up with Lydia. Thank you. With Lydia.
Lydia Dietz.
And like getting her involved. She's a reporter, and they're like, oh, espionage and back and forth, the juggling of like, there's this character and this character's involved, and like they're trying to get the second microchip because Tuck Pendleton has 1 microchip that makes you small. They need 2 microchips to make you big. The bad guy, Scrimshaw, has the other microchip. So now it's like this heist movie to see if they can get the second microchip in order to make him big.
And they give you a small time element because Tuck only has air until the next morning.
Exactly. Ticking time clock till 9 a.m. the next morning, something like that.
Yep.
And so there's a ticking time clock. And that's basically like the whole plot of the movie is them just trying to get the second microchip. We learn about the competing company with Scrimshaw. We learn there's this guy called the Cowboy who's played by Robert Picardo, who is
wonderful.
He's some Eastern European, I think, guy that loves American cowboys.
Yeah. I'm a cowboy who's never seen a cow. Can rope a steer 'cause I don't know how. And I'm not supposed to start learning how. Yippee-i-oh-hi.
So he comes over, but he's actually like a stolen tech dealer, and so they have to like try to like meet up with, like try to sabotage him and all that.
Lydia mentions, because he specifically he only deals in Western technology, and she
Only
specifically mentions that he's the one who introduced Velcro to the Middle East.
That's right. Who do you think introduced Velcro to the Middle East?
Because he's a fence. He deals in stolen technology, Western technology almost exclusively, which he then sells overseas to the highest bidder. Who do you think introduced Velcro to the Persian Gulf?
Really?
Such an odd one-liner.
It's weird.
And yeah, so it's basically like this heist movie where it kind of goes back and forth, who has the microchip, who doesn't, kind of thing. There's a really, what Tuck can do inside of Jack's body is interesting, because he can
talk about the one scene.
Yep.
So it's the most fantastical scene in the movie.
It's great. The practical effects in both of those scenes, because they do little it's okay. The premise is that they need to basically replace the cowboy in the deal to acquire the Scrimshaw is trying to sell the technology. As he says, he doesn't care who's going to lead the race in what do you call
miniaturization.
Miniaturization, thank you. Is like the future of the world isn't nukes, it's miniaturization. And he says that, and he's like, I don't care who's going to be the country that does this. I just want to get rich off of it. And so he's selling the microchip to the cowboy, who's going to then do, black market stuff with it.
Yeah.
And so they have a meeting. And so when Lydia and Jack end up bumping into the cowboy after tracking him down, they go back to the hotel and they tie him up and put him in the bathtub. Tuck is like, hang on. I'm going to use electrical impulses to change your face to match the cowboy. And there's this great scene where they put a leaf blower into his mouth, and he's like,
What does that mean?
I'm gonna alter your face.
You could alter my face? Change my face? How do you do that?
It's complicated. I don't even understand it myself, but just trust me.
Will it hurt?
Yeah.
Well, let's not do it then.
What are you doing in there, Jack?
And it's just, and first off, you're like, oh, this is so crazy. But halfway through the scene to where they're trying to get the microchip, something happens and he reverts back to Jack. And it's just this horrifying series of prosthetic faces being shooken around super fast. And it's really good.
You're generating too much electrical energy and can't hold the balance. Try to stay calm, Jack.
Cowboy, stop it. Don't do that. I was just kidding you. Please, Cowboy. One more. It's only a joke. Cowboy, I beg of you. Stop it.
How you doing, Jack?
God in heaven deliver us from Satan.
Like,
it's a really good,
like I feel like the idea of using electrical impulses to change your face isn't extravagant enough to merit that level of like props and prosthetics and stuff. I feel like that should be in like The Howling, right? Like it makes sense,
right?
Yeah, like Joe Dante clearly a Gizmo in the Gremlins, like the transformations. Joe Dante clearly understands how to do a master class of transformation sequences. Like he's so good at it.
Because that's like a almost minute-long section
It's-
of him
yeah.
shaking back and forth.
It's
with
great.
them changing the faces in between.
No, like that was
and Scrimshaw going, "No, I didn't mean it, cowboy. I'm sorry. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop."
No, it's incredible. It's legitimately one of the best parts of the movie. Is the amount of money that probably poured into that one scene is crazy. But no, they did such a good job with that. Like that's one of the highlights of the movie for me was that scene. And that's
one of the highlights for the movie for me is right before that when Scrimshaw puts a raw egg in the dog bowl and then says, "What do you say? What do you say? Never beg, never beg,
never beg, never beg."
All right. What do you say? What do you say? What do you say? Never beg, never beg.
He's such a weird character.
I don't know why that's always stuck out to me. He's such a weird character.
Never beg. Then later he's like looking for the microchip that falls into the dog bowl, and he's like digging through the dog bowl. There's just dog food getting everywhere, all over his white suit.
Yeah. I don't know why that always stuck out to me. It's
Never
beg, never beg.
It's one of those lines that just it's so distinct and doesn't really have anything to do with anything. So it's just there.
Yeah. So they do that. They kidnap. They capture Jack and Lydia and shove them in a wine cellar.
Yes, where Lydia finally learns that Tuck is inside him, and at this point, like Jack's like falling in love with Lydia, and there's that whole like thing, and I thought that was what it was. Like I didn't feel really strongly either way about it. I was like, yeah, it makes it is what it is.
It's that thing. It's that whatever that's called, where you're in like a life or death situation with someone, so you gain this level of attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm glad that it wasn't just me, because at this point, Jack's like, "Hey Tuck, give me a second with her, because like I'm falling for her and I want to have a moment alone, because you hear and see everything I see. Just shut off for a second. I'm gonna go kiss your girlfriend." And so he macks Lydia. And then all of a sudden he finds out that, not all of a sudden, but like later in another scene, he finds out that Tuck is no longer inside of him.
Yeah.
And
Because
Tuck is
for
actually
some
inside
reason-
of Lydia. And I was like, how did that happen? What did I miss? Was I looking down? Like, did I miss something? Like, no, because they kissed. Now kiss. And it's through the saliva.
It's a one-off shot where he's like, yeah.
So much for words.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Which, every time I've watched that movie, I go, why was he in Jack's mouth at that moment?
At that moment. Yeah. I don't know. Also, I'm just going to say this for the record. The scene where Tuck is getting Jack to drink Southern Comfort, and it just pours down his throat. I would not want to drink Southern Comfort that had gone through somebody else's digestive system like to that point. I'm like, that's kind of gross.
To Ozzy. Come on, Lucky Flask. Aye.
Oklahoma tire.
Because like it's slimy in there, and you're like, ooh.
Right? It looks really gross.
It
He
looks
has to cut a hole in the esophagus to stick the thing out.
It's gross.
And I look at that scene and I think, how big was that throat model that they filmed that in? Because that was
right. They had to make, and that's the thing is this movie like it built so many things for. Objectively, I would feel like not very important scenes, but
really
it helped.
short.
Yeah, really short, but it helps build it, and I think it benefits the film as the whole just to stay committed the entire way through, just to do that. Maybe they took maybe they shot like the important stuff, like, hey, we still have this throat prop. Let's have a scene where they slice it open. Yeah, maybe I don't know. I didn't read any behind the scenes on it, so who knows what they did.
For those ones.
But so yeah, now Jack. So Tuck is in Lydia, and he finds out that she's pregnant with his baby because it's been 2 months, and so I guess it's there we go.
It's one of the biggest CGI scenes in the movie, and it doesn't look that bad for a
No,
87.
it actually looks pretty good.
Lydia. I'm in Lydia. Oh, Lydia. I'm a dad.
Like I'd say all the effects hold up really. None of them were like, wow, that's from the 80s. It all felt pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you could show this to a kid nowadays, and he'd just be like, oh, yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
See, open mouth coughed on his tablet.
The matting on the they take them to the secret funny. They take them to the other lab, and their plan is to shrink down Ivo in a really cool looking mech bodysuit thing.
Oh, hang on, you have to do me this favor. It reminded me, picture. Spider-Man 1, because we cannot do one of these episodes without me mentioning Spider-Man. Spider-Man 1. Remember, the U.S. government was between Norman Osborn and another military contract, right? They were with a different company. And there's a scene where it's the same military people showing up, and he says, nothing would make... No, the scientist said, well, what about your deal with Oscorp? He says, nothing would make me more happy than to shut Osborn down. And then there's like the test footage of the testing, and it's this exosuit. And the guy's and then you're and he that exosuit looks a lot like it reminded me like, yes, that exosuit looks very similar.
Now what about your commitment to Oscorp?
Nothing would please me more than to put Norman Osborn out of business.
Reflight complete. Mark.
We are picking up an unidentified object, closing fast.
What the hell is that?
Can you see anything?
Oh my god.
It does, yeah.
Editing magic. Like I apologize, but there you go.
I do, yeah, you're right.
But yes, Ivo gets put into basically the small pod with more aggressive infiltration type, like slicey hands and stuff.
Yeah, it's got a big like claw with a little extra jutting bit on it. And that's probably, and then they stick him in. They stick him in his body. They shrink him because they got the one chip,
right?
That they put in. And then they shrink him, and then they do a whole extra thing where they find out Lydia steals a gun from a man because he tases himself like an idiot, reaching around in her purse. Section of the movie where I went, the budget they spent on these shots.
So they miniaturize Scrimshaw. I hope you know every time I do this, I'm going rickshaw, Scrimshaw. Every single time I'm looking up and away, I'm thinking that. So Scrimshaw and Margot and the gang, they've miniaturized them to 50%.
Yeah, they're monkeying around and they accidentally turn the dial to 50%.
Which means every single shot with them in it for the rest of the movie has to be some trick force perspective or like large prop thing. It reminds me of the scene from Top Secret where in the foreground there's this giant phone, and it looks like it's a giant phone because it's in the foreground, but no, the guy walks up and it's this giant phone. And there's a scene where post-shrinkage, Scrimshaw and Margot have to climb. Scrimshaw's on Margot's shoulders to get up to the phone on the payphone, and they had to build that.
There's a phone. Oh, thank God.
So what? All my pocket change is shrunk.
Well, use your credit card, Victor. You do have one, don't you? All big men have credit cards.
Yeah. And how are we gonna get up there? I've got it. Cowboy, this is Victor Scrimshaw. What the hell? I don't care what you've been through. It couldn't possibly compare with what I've been through.
It's like 2 shots that they had to build. They had to build a phone booth. They had to build that bench and that whole fence.
Yes, for a 1 shot, and every single shot for the rest of the film with them in it, they had to build something. And there's a scene where they climb into the back of the Volvo while Jack and Lydia are escaping. And you've got Scrimshaw with his tiny little hands reaching around and trying to blind him. He's got these little tiny hands. It's so funny.
Stop this car! Did you kick him over? I said stop this car!
Oh my God, it's great. The fight scene between him and Jack is so funny because he turns himself up, so it's like trying to kick him with little tiny shoes in his face. Yeah. It's so stupid. But it's great though.
It's brilliant.
And it goes nowhere really, because they just leave the car. They almost crash the car and they just leave.
They just leave it on the beach.
Yeah.
It's
so at this
while
point
that's going on.
So Lydia and Jack Mac again, which now has Tuck back in Jack. Tuck is now, but now there's Igo. In his little Spider-Man 1 kind of contraption thing.
Rocket thing. Yeah.
And so you've got, and this is very screenplay 101 type stuff, but it's strong stuff. Ticking time bomb. Tuck's air's 15%, 10%. He's running low on air. He has to fight Igo, who's one of the main antagonists of the movie. All the while, Lydia and Tuck are outside. Not Tuck, sorry, Jack are outside fighting guards and trying to escape because they need to get back to the lab because now they have the second chip to make him bigger. And so there's a bunch of stuff going on at once. Everything's kind of accumulating into one thing. All the moving parts are kind of coming together. They go into the lab. Surprise, surprise! They put in the stuff at the right time. A great Chekhov's gun moment with the beginning when it's you're allergic to hairspray, where they're you need to sneeze, Jack. Someone give me some hairspray. I appreciate this movie doing above what they needed to do because it's very easily could have just been very straightforward. But even small things like someone give me hairspray and someone hands him mousse or hair gel instead, and he's no, this is, he throws it at him and
I don't know. Hairspray. Somebody, hey, give me some hairspray. Hurry, give me some hairspray. Right away. Here, give me that. Not mousse, hairspray. Give me that.
He goes back and gets he needs the hairspray, and that tiny little bit just helps make the movie a little funnier, makes a little extra stuff they didn't have to do that you just appreciate. And so he needs to sneeze, and so he sneezes right on the guy's glasses, which sneezes out Tuck, and then they make him bigger, and then they all live happily ever after.
Yeah,
basically.
They even have the bit, right? Because they even have the little bit where it's a dumb shot, but Tuck is fighting Igo inside, and he gets out of the suit, and he's on the thing.
Oh, that's right. He ejects, and he's got the freaking drill in his hand.
He's got the little drill, and he's drilling into, and he goes down to Jack's stomach, and he makes Jack worry because he lies to him about having cancer. So he has a stomach acid flowing.
You have cancer. Oh boy, there goes my ulcer.
He says, "You just digested the bad guy," and then they do a quick shot of him burping.
Yeah,
for no reason.
Jack, it worked. You just digested the bad guy.
So okay, there's a little instances like that, and one of the weirdest choices of the film is at the very beginning with the doctor talking to Jack, and the doctor's been in a bunch of stuff too. I forget what he's been in, but he's been in a bunch of stuff.
Place,
There's a moment where he's checking his reflexes, and he's got the little hammer, and they added in a boink sound effect.
They did.
Boink. I was what?
That's another good physicality moment for Martin Short because he kicks the thing, he kicks the table, he grabs the thing, and then the doctor's like, "Oh, sit down," and then he sits down and falls off the table.
Trigger, and it's at that moment that I wake up screaming.
take it easy, Jack. It's all right. It's all right. The nurse will get it, Jack. Just sit down. Sit down. Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. I didn't mean to push you off the way. Please.
Yeah, it's like little things where, like, in the hands of a less proficient comedic physical actor, it wouldn't have played as well. I don't even know. That seems like almost something that Martin Short may have come up with a history of physicality. Like, it could have very well be the case. So I just think that the casting was, like, Martin Short was an excellent choice for that because he could do that, and he could also play the nerd without being too stereotypical, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah, at the very they save the day. He comes out. Everyone's like, ah, and there's a nice moment. I really like this moment where Tuck gets out of this pod right after being stuck in there the whole time, and he hugs Lydia. They kiss passionately, and Jack's a little sad because he has feelings for Lydia now. But then there's a very good, sweet moment between Tuck and Jack where Tuck shows up and shake hands. He's like, congratulations, Lieutenant, or whatever says Jack as he hands his, and he doesn't
do the handshake.
He doesn't shake his hand. He just hugs him, and it's a really sweet moment.
Welcome home, Lieutenant.
Like a cigar? Cuban?
And it makes him smile, and it kind of it's just very heartwarming. I think it's a genuinely heartwarming moment. And it's a nice bro bonding moment.
It's a nice build-in because it has Tuck gets out of the pod, he hugs Lydia and kisses Lydia, and you can see Jack get sad, and then Tuck looks past Lydia to Jack and then smiles at him,
he
and
smiles.
then Jack starts smiling.
Yeah,
and he starts smiling back. He's like, "That it's sweet. It's a really sweet moment."
Yeah, and it's like in the '80s, right, where it's like, "See, I got you pushing too many pencils." Like it's like that in the midst of that macho man.
Yeah,
you have a very sweet moment, and then later, because the next scene is Lydia and Tuck getting married. Jack gives them his cruise that he was going to go on as a gift. It's a wedding gift, and they're headed off.
Chekhov's gun for no reason.
And Lydia kisses Jack once and hugs him, and then even Tuck kisses Jack on the side of the head and hugs him.
Take care, Big Jack.
Yeah.
It's a very, it doesn't really, I think it does a great job, kind of like a Frodo and Sam type moment, or a Lord of the Rings type moment, where men are very vulnerable, but they're not, gay. They're not showing oh, he's actually whatever. They're just men just showing affection. And I think, not to, but that is not a very common thing in movies. It's really not.
It's an earned moment for these characters.
It is. That's a really good point. It is an earned moment, and it feels genuine, and it's sweet, and I really like it, and I appreciate this movie more because of that moment, because it's not afraid to do stuff like that, to show hey, dudes have emotions. So I thought that was really cool.
It's a good one.
And it also rounds out because dun dun dun, the person driving the limo away from the wedding is the cowboy, and because freaking
and then yet
Tuck has the microchips as cufflinks. That's cool. I appreciate that. That was cool.
Nobody even noticed my cufflinks.
Also, in another amazing amount of money spending, they built a giant suitcase to put Scrimshaw in.
Scrimshaw and Margot are shoved into this little suitcase because there's 50% that the Russian. I keep saying the Russian. The cowboy's carrying around.
He has the chips on him. Good. Close the lid.
I can't breathe in here.
Shut up, Margaret.
So they had to build this massive suitcase prop for them to get it
for the
one
10 seconds you have of them curled up in the freaking thing. Oh my god. So they so that happens, and Martin Short realizes the last second. Jack's like, wait, that was the cowboy. And so then you have like the three representatives of his life. The doctor's there, Wendy's there, and the store manager's there. All like the doctor who's related to his hypochondria, the Wendy who's related to him basically being a pushover, and the store manager as obviously he working at Safeway for the rest of your life, maybe not quite as fulfilling as he would want. And so like you got the three major players in his normal life, and he basically tells them off one by one. He says, "Doc, I'm cured."
Yep.
Wendy, not a chance in hell, because now that he's all like adventure man, Wendy's like, And then, sir, I appreciate the manager is like, I appreciate the extra hours, but I quit. And then he runs away, jumps into the Tuck's convertible, and then chases off. And that's the movie ends with him pursuing adventure in his life. I don't know what he's gonna do for bills, but he's gonna he's off pursuing adventure, feeling fulfilled with that new sense of identity.
And the credits rolls for quite a while. I don't know when it cut off for you, but them driving along that coastal road, him chasing the limo, is like 4 minutes. Just
it cut
footage
like after
of
the
them
first
just
bend.
chasing.
Really?
It's it's quite a long shot of them just driving.
Huh.
And then it just ends. They never did anything else with it because it just ends with a there you go.
And I kind of like that because the character of Jack, I can't tell if this movie is about Jack or about Tuck because it's very much about both of them. And it's nice to have a movie where it's not sequel bait, but it says like, hey, his adventures are going to continue. Like it is because Jack's character growth is a lot of characters go from like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, or I have landed in this place and now life will be nice and normal from here on out. Whereas Jack's is like the opposite, where it's like my life is too normal and now I'm going to end in this place of open possibilities. So that's very much what this is. Jack is going who knows where, but that's the point. The point is that he could, his life is an open book of excitement and adventure from here on out.
He can do whatever he wants, and he's currently choosing to save Tuck from Scrimshaw.
But yeah, no, I thought not at all what I expected when because Bullet Train was the last movie that you suggested, and I was not at all expecting a Spielberg Joe Dante movie from the late 80s. I did not expect that whatsoever, but I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, really? But then
it was, as I said, it was a childhood movie, so it ended up being.
It feels like a childhood movie, but it's in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's a good companion for your childhood movie.
Buckaroo Banzai. I felt there's some similarities with like the set design, like the mentality behind it, with like the sets in this movie felt very lived in a similar kind of capacity as Buckaroo Banzai. I know we talked about like every film there, every scene of Buckaroo Banzai, there's just stuff, and especially in the labs, whatever lab that Tuck was a part of, it felt very like papers everywhere. It felt very lived in.
They say it somewhere. I'm sure I can find it somewhere. But yeah, those were the parts that I wanted to. When I said there are things in this you'll like, I figured you would like a lot of the physical. Like set building and.
It's funny because I've watched quite a number of videos. Welcome to Watch Mojo, not those, but it's kind of in the same avenue, where it's like, the movies with some of the best practical effects of all time. Yeah. Where is this movie in those lists? Because they're sleeping on this movie. It's got like some fantastic practical effects.
And that was the other reason I wanted to, because I never see anyone talk about.
I've never even heard of this movie until you told me about it. Like, no one is talking about it. Is it like the best movie of all time? No, but it doesn't have to be. No. It is a solid movie with incredible practical effects, and it deserves, I think, more. I'm grateful for you for suggesting this, because it deserves more attention, because it is a sleeper movie. Like people are sleeping on this movie, especially people who love. Like, you get all these people who are like, oh, man, I love the practical effects of the 80s. Oh, The Thing, Gremlins, all these things. Like, this movie should be in there with them. I think legitimately this movie should be in there with those movies, because it's Joe Dante. he understands practical effects, small soldiers, gremlins. Like Joe Dante knows what he's doing, and this is clearly a movie that showcases his understanding. So I think this is an underappreciated movie, if nothing else than just for the practical effects.
Yeah. And if you end up liking, like, most of these people go on to make bigger or better movies later on, they're all notable people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I always like movies like that where you get a movie that has a bunch of people before they kind of made it big. Mystery Men's one of those where it's William H. Macy, Ben Stiller, all those guys who were like kind of making it but not quite, and then all of a sudden they all went to be way bigger.
Eddie Izzard well before
Dressed to Kill.
He really did anything outside of
Jeffrey
the
Rush.
first notable movie Jeffrey Rush. The first notable movie I watched Eddie Izzard in was Ocean's 11.
I have not seen any of the Ocean's movies.
Those are good movies.
Yeah, I've always wanted to watch them. Just never ended up doing it. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I appreciated the effects a lot. It was cool to see a movie that is like underappreciated, but like it felt like I feel like having watched the movie, I have more to draw upon for, like, how to put this. As someone who enjoys studying practical effects, I think this is a good reference to put in a library for. I think if you're interested in special effects and like the idea of building practical sets, this is a must-watch. Because it's like, these are some techniques that you can employ that work, that hold up almost 40 years later. This movie is 38 years old, right? No. Yeah, because it came out in 87?
87.
Yeah, so it would be. Yeah, because in 2 years it would be 40. So it's 38 years old, but the effects hold up like better than most. And so I think that this is a great movie for people who like, especially people who just enjoy watching movies and picking apart, like, how did they do it? This is a great movie for that. So I'm grateful that I saw it because it's like a movie I can add to my library of like reference material. Yeah. But it was cool also because I didn't know you watched this movie a bunch as a kid.
This is one of those. I don't think I've really told anybody that I've watched.
No, I don't think. Have you ever talked about it before? Yeah. I recommend it. I think it's fun. If you just want, like, if you're a lover of 80s movies.
This is a calm 80s movie. This
isn't
like the normal.
It's a nice middle ground between like the bombastic 80s and like frankly the lower budget, not quite as good movies. I'm not saying quality wise, I just mean tone wise.
Tone wise, yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of the lower budget 80s movies couldn't be as bombastic in their tone because they didn't have the money for it. So this is a nice middle ground between like low budget and high budget 80s movies while still being a good movie.
This ended up being a story that was kind of calm, not too ridiculous, but it had Amblin Entertainment and Steven Spielberg backing it, so it had the money.
Yeah, it had just enough fantastical elements to keep it interesting and to keep it fun.
Yeah. Obviously, I recommend it. I like when I was
Just mentioning your quote. I don't recommend it. Charles Morris, 2025. Yeah, tune in next time for when we watch another movie from the 80s, except not really.
We'll try to space it out a little bit more.
Because I think we're 3 for 4 right now. Dune.
Yeah.
Bullet Train. Buckaroo Banzai. And Innerspace. But next time, we'll probably do something like Mystery Men or Little Miss Sunshine or something like that. We'll do something newer.
We'll do Mystery Men, which is... What, like
1999. It's almost 2000.
10 years.
Yes.
Almost 10 years later. All right.